Hello my friends, my name is Rosario Bortamba, NPM 0211181551, class 6D Management. Impact of COVID-19 on Indonesia's economy. Growth Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani said Indonesia was hit hard by the spread of the coronavirus. Not only human health, this virus is also disrupting economic health around the world. The financial sector stability commit said any estimates that Indonesia's economic growth in the worst case scenario could be -0.4%. Our economic growth is based on the assessment we saw earlier, B1, OJK, LPS, and we estimate that economic growth will fall to 3%. Even in a worst scenario, it could reach -0.4%. Any explained that the current condition will have an impact on decreasing household consumption, which is estimated at 2% to 1-2%. More than that, investment will also decline supply. Previously, the government was quite optimistic that investment would grow by 6%. However, with the presence of COVID-19, it is predicted that investment will fall to a level of 1%, or at worst it could reach -4%. Exports are also predicted to have a deeper correction, considering that the growth has been negative for the past year. Likewise, with imports, according to any, will also remain negative in growth. The MSME sector is the sector that is most affected by the COVID-19 outbreak, reflecting on the 1998 crisis. This sector tends to be safe. However, now the situation was different. The UMKM sector is a sector that has also been hit. So far, it is usually a safety net, now experiencing a very big blow because of the restriction of economic and social activities that affect the ability of MSMEs, which are usually quit. To face the conditions in 1997-1998, the UMKM were still resilient. Right now in this COVID, MSMEs are back in the front due to the absence of activities outside the home by the entire community. The government side has issued various policies by providing stimulus to the affected communities. This is stated in the government regulation in lieu of law on state financial policy and financial system stability, which was signed by President Joko Widodo. In this purpose of the stimuli is an economic safety net for the poor. Therefore, in Indonesia, we must focus on the things. First, health and humanitarian problem must be addressed. Second, ensuring the condition of the community, especially the social safety net to the lost community, and how we can protect the economic business sector as much as possible, so that they do not suffer damage or survive in the future situation. And in this case, we also protect the stability of the financial sector, said Sri Mulyani. On these occasions, Ani also announced that the rupiah exchange rate against the United States dollar had the potential to weaken to per dollar due to the COVID-19 outbreak. For a moderate estimate, it is in the rate per dollar. This is part of the macro assumptions scenarios which all experience change. Should an estimate economic growth of 2-3% to minus 0.4%. In addition, inflation of 5.1% and the price of Indonesian crude oil fell to USD per barrel. Even though the macro assumption this time is so scary, any emphasized that the government will not make it happen. In fact, this is used a benchmark, so that worst case scenario does not exclude. Government of Bank Indonesia Peri Warjio emphasized that its party will not allow the rupiah exchange rate scenario of 20.000 per dollar to occur. In fact, he stated the current rupiah exchange rate, which was in the rate of per dollar, was quite stable. The caucus scenario is that we will anticipate the exchange rate of 17.000 per dollar, or the very so that it does not happen. In this regard, I asked the governor of state that the current rupiah rate is adequate. What I mentioned earlier is a forward-looking scenario that we will prevent from happening. Therefore, base one will continue to be committed to maintaining the stability of the rupiah exchange rate, said Perry. He explained the cause of the weakening of the rupiah was due to panic investor regulating in what is called a capital reversal or capital outflow. During the period of this pandemic between January and March 2020, there were capital outflow in Indonesian investment portfolio, which amounted to 167 trillion. This capital outflow that then occurred throughout the world, including in Indonesia, which was also the cause of the weakening of the rupiah's exchange rate, was driven by global at cause of the weakening of the rupiah exchange rate was driven by global panic as a result of the rapid spread of the COVID-19 epidemic in various parts in the world. In this context, we provide dollar both on the spot and on the domestic non-delivery forward, as well as the purchase of SBN on the secondary market. So far we have bought SBN from the secondary market amounting to trillion, said Perry. So far, B1 has taken several steps to anticipate the impact of this COVID-19, including lowering B1 benchmark interest rate switch. We asked B1 coordinates with the government to carry out aspects related to monetary stability and monetary stimulus, where we have lowered the interest rate switch so that the B1 interest rate is 5% to research the burden on the business world. Second, we continue to stabilize the rupiah exchange rate by investing in the spot market, domestic non-delivery forward, and purchasing SBN from the secondary market. That's all from I say thank you very much. Thank you, Miss.